So welcome to today's slow flow practice. My name is Helena and I'll be here to guide you through today's class. I'd like us all to start in a comfortable position, and maybe comfort to you today means coming to lie on your back. Perhaps you're staying upright, keeping the body elevated. From the back, find a position with the arms stretched out, legs stretched out. If you're staying upright, either position, we really just want to bring attention into the spine and integrity into the spine with some length and some space. Give yourself the opportunity to really settle in. Getting rid of any little final sensations to fidget or shift around. And then let go. Letting go of tension that you might have brought onto your mat with you. Maybe it means even making fists with your hands, squeezing them tight. Maybe even shrugging the shoulders up towards your ears. Engage and then release. Let that contraction go. Feeling how there might be muscular energy still held. Feel free to do that again. Squeezing fists, maybe pulling up through the shoulders, and then exhale, melt the body into your mat. So what I love about a slow flow practice is that we'll still be moving in and out of different postures, different standing sequences, but slowing the pace of it down just to move a bit more mindfully, to connect to the control of subtle movement, to pick up on even any additional messages we might be receiving from the body through slowing down and listening, giving us some extra space to even massage those spaces with breath or work into them just a little bit deeper. Start to find that steadiness in your breath. Longer inhales, releasing exhales. And bring all of your awareness simply to how you're breathing. For the next 5 or 6 rounds. Try to allow for more space to breathe in deeply. And exhale completely. Observe where the breath is rising and filling up into, and how the breath as you exhale invites everything to soften. Continue to breathe in a fluid way, almost establishing even a gentle rhythm through your breath. And every morning before I teach this practice, I'm very grateful for the time that I have to be reflective. I have a pattern or routine, even what's turned into a habit that I don't even really notice I do anymore, but it's a practice that does happen every morning, of checking in to see how the emotional body and physical body has arrived in today, arrived here and now. And what am I still processing from the day before? What am I processing for the day ahead? But what tools do I have available to show up the best I can? Again, I'm privileged and grateful that I have this carved out time, but it's while I'm doing my morning routine, making coffee, feeding my cat, doing my dishes, having a shower. So things I would be doing anyways, but I use that time almost for meditation. Where do you have quiet, carved out space in your day, doing your regular routine, you're cooking dinner, sweeping your floors, where you can check in with the emotional body and how it's arrived. And it's without judgment. You know, this morning I woke up with dual energies of being completely inspired by the number of community leaders who are generously, freely, and kindly donating their services to the community. But also counterbalance to that, that a lot of us are in a fearful time, and from that fear, acting from that fear, and maybe only looking out for our best interest. You know how we have different capacities day to day. It's very easy for us all to be in fear of our own circumstances and then act in that space, where we can get really absorbed in the me of this situation, or the I of this situation. So I invite you all through practice to step out of an I or a me. We've arrived here collectively as a community. We are going through this together. So we'll take 8 or 9 more deep breaths. And maybe this is the first time all day you've had some carved out time to see how the emotional and physical body has arrived on your mat. It's okay with whatever you've shown up with. Our practice is a tool to become more aware of this, to make those shifts. And if you ever get caught up in that inner dialogue of the I or me situation, remind yourself of the people on the other end of this screen that are practicing with you together. Moving from that space, acting from a we will be a lot kinder, more understanding, patient, and generous to one another. I'm also grateful that I have this opportunity to share with each of you, and from the comfort of my home, and share this practice that can be incredibly beneficial for transformation. One more deep breath. Open up your mouth and sigh. Take any small movements that get you checked back in with a physical body. Wiggle fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. And if you're on your back, bend your knees, hug them in towards your chest. We'll meet together in a seated position. Take your time to come upright with your legs crossed. Rock yourself forward and back. Lift up through the crown of your head. Feel a length lifting from the waistline towards the sky as your sitting bones root down deeply into the earth. Then simply just start to lean yourself forward and then lean yourself back. Perhaps the spine starts to move with this, lifting your chest up as you lean forward, rocking back, lightly rounding chin to chest. Moving from the pelvic bowl, tip it forward, lift your gaze, rock it back, hollow out your belly. And we'll add in a little bit more to this movement. The next time you rock forward, take your chest over towards the left, sweep yourself back, rock back in space, rounded spine, sweep towards the right. Come back forward through center. So we're circling the torso over the pelvic bowl, right to left. Maybe the eyes close and you watch how you're moving into each hip crease, moving your rib cage, even the shoulders. Starting to wake up the entire torso. The next time you come through to center, switch your direction. And then I encourage you to invite the movement to get a bit bigger as we're creating more space. I also invite you to unite your circles with the breath. And inhale going one way. And exhale, complete the cycle. Come back to center, lengthen your spine up. Reach your arms high, get really tall, palms maybe touching overhead. Pull your hands in towards heart center. And go again like that. Inhale to sweep up, lengthen, reach, 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 reach. Pull hands into heart. One more time. Inhale to sweep. Hands pressed to heart, bow chin in towards chest. Thank yourself for arriving in this space to do this type of reflective work. Let's meet together in tabletop on hands and knees. Stacking your shoulders right over top of your wrists. Find some space between your fingers. Try not to rotate the index finger in. Even turn the index finger maybe 5 degrees out. Hugging your arm bones in. Knees under hips. Engage through the hands. Grip with the fingertips. On an inhale, kick your right leg back behind you. Try to keep the heel in line with your hip. Try to keep the torso contained so the front ribs slightly hug into your back ribs. Roll the right ankle out. Take 3 circles one way, and then 3 circles the opposite. And then playing around with that back hip, open up your toes towards the side, and then close the hips back off, turn your toes back towards the earth. Open up your hip towards the side, close your hips back off to the earth. One more time, open. Turn the toes back down. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, hug it in, then flicker step your right foot through. Tense your fingers. Bring the right hand to your right hip. Peel your chest up a little more, so look past the top edge of your mat. Open towards the right side. If you feel like it's okay through the shoulder, extend your right arm high. If you'd like to make this a little bit more engaging, the option to flip your back toes and lift off your back knee. So straighten your back leg. Good. Low lunge twist. Inhale through nose. Release your gaze down. Plant both hands down. Let's step back to downward dog. We'll be here for a few breaths, so pedal your feet out. Sway your hips side to side. And know that at any point, if downward dog does not really align with where you want the body to be today, child's pose is also a really good option, just to modify yourself. One more breath. Soften onto your knees. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Contain the core, so try not to let the belly dip down. Hug front body into back body. Inhale, lifting, left leg back behind you. Kick into the heel. So if you were pressing it into a wall behind you, then start to circle the ankle out. Arm bones stay strong without hyperextending them or locking them. Flex your left toes towards your face. Inhale, open up your left hip towards the side. square them back off. Neutral pelvis, tabletop back. Rotate hips, thigh and toes to open. Square back off. 2 more on your own. Knee to chest, hug in. Step your left foot through, grab your foot, pull it there. Stack your left knee on top of the ankle, tense your fingertips. Lift the heart center a little bit more. Left hand onto the hip, open towards your left side, twisting. Feel free to take the arm high. Lift off the back knee if it's available to you. Stay high on your back toes. You're going to try and hug your heels in towards one another without actually moving them. Look towards the earth, release both hands down. Lift the back knee if it's not already. Step yourself back, downward dog. Come really high onto your tiptoes, and then pivot your heels towards the right edge of your mat. Keep both hands planted, press through them firmly. Try and create some length through your left side. Back through to center, high to toes. Pivot them towards the left. Press down firmly through your right. Back to center, lift your heels, bend your knees, gaze towards your thumbs. Walk, step, or hop to the top of your space. Flat back, create some length, lift your heart up. Keep a soft bend through your knees, and then bow back forward. Release the crown of your head to the earth. Let the shoulders fall towards the ears. Arm bones heavy. Inhale and exhale. Bend deeper through the knees, lift your chest up halfway. Rise up all the way, sweep your arms, get really tall. Give your arms a good shake out, let them go. Peek down at your toes and watch that your second and third toe face forward. Your feet are under your hips, not to the outer edges, right under. Spread the toes wide, fan them out. Stack your spine up, and then take one hand to heart center, one hand to your abdomen. Breathe into that space under your palms. Now knowing that the breath we're all taking right now is collective and somehow unites us. The breath we're all taking right now is also a universal experience of breathing. Your breath is just your own, but it's an act that we all do. Reach the arms high, get really tall, hinge forward, bow, soften through the knees, release your head. Flatten your back, lift your chest up, crown reaches. Then bend your knees, take your fingertips down, we'll step into plank position. Even space between your fingers. Check in with how you're breathing. Does it feel like there's an intense bracing on your body? Soften, take the knees down. Look past the fingers, come down slowly with control, elbows hug into your body. From here, loop your shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze them down your back so the front body opens, the upper arm bones draw back, lift your heart. Press the pubic bone down a little bit more. See how that hugs the abdomen in, the chest can maybe come up a tiny bit higher. Release yourself down. Hips move back in space, flip your toes. Lift your knees, downward facing dog. And then move if the body still desires movement. Keeping a lift to your heels
a tip of the pelvic bowl forward so you feel your sitting bones tip higher. Inhale, send your right leg high behind you. And just like we did in our tabletop, we start with the hips square, right toes face down. Open up your hip towards the side, open up your toes towards the side, and then square back off. Toes to the earth. Go 2 more times, opening the hip, breathe in. Square off, breathe out. Last time. Knee to chest, look forward. Flicker step your right foot through. Tented fingers. Back knee stays lifted. Lift your torso to crescent. Your hands can even walk up the thigh to bring yourself upright. If you feel like your balance is maybe off, take a wider base with your feet. You can always inch your left foot more towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, arms extending, reach up. Maybe the gaze starts to shift between your thumbs. Let's interlace the hands behind the neck, so behind the head, and see if you can cradle that space where the spine and the skull meet. Lengthen that space up, lean yourself back. Pull your elbows wide. Come a little higher to your back toes and watch how that sends the left hip forward, bringing the extension through the whole front body. Bring your spine back to neutral. Reach the arms out in line with the shoulders, palms face forward, so pinkies down, thumbs up. Get a little taller. Twist towards the right. And come back to neutral. Work towards twisting left. One more time each way. Center, breathe in. Twisting right, breathing out. Center, breathe in. Twisting left, breathe out. Neutral. Release your hands to frame your foot. Step back to downward dog. Let that go. Sigh and exhale, breath out through your mouth. Look towards the top of your space. Bend your knees, lift your heels, walk or hop, come forward. Lift out of the body, chest opens. Exhale, bow it back in. Press down actively through your feet. Come up to stand, root to rise up. Hands press through heart center. Never hurts to take that peek at your feet. Second and third toe forward. Even weight through the balls of the feet, the center of your heel. And taking that universal collective breath in through your nose. Sigh out through your mouth. Arms reach high. Hinge forward, bow. Halfway to lift, flat back. Bend your knees a lot. Take the hands down, find your expression of plank position. Watch the angle of the index finger. We don't want it inwardly rotating, pinching through the inner part of the shoulder, turning out, hug your elbows in, lower through your push-up. Cobra or upward dog, chest lifts. If you're coming into upward dog, press so firmly through the feet that maybe the pelvis lifts off the earth, the thighs lift off the earth. Exhale, pull back in space, downward dog, flip your toes. So I even like to slow down those positions like plank, push up, and your back bend, because they're like extreme positions of strength, extension, to be mindful as we move through them. Inhale, left leg high, toes face the earth, so look under your belly and see that the knee, thigh, and toes face down. Watch the toes open towards the side. Try to keep your shoulders square. Turn your toes back down. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. One more time, open. Close off, knee to chest, hug in, and flicker step left foot through. Find the base of your feet maybe here. Look under the belly. Right toes can move more towards the left, right edge of your mat. And lift the torso, square hips. Extend your arms. Engaging through the legs, rather than sinking through the legs, there's a bit of a lift through our pelvic bowl with that dragging and hugging in of the feet towards the center of your mat. Hands move behind the head. Maybe switching up the grip with your hands to try the one that feels a little more foreign. Lean slightly back as you use your hands to traction the head slightly up. Can you still hear the sound of your breath? Return to center. Take the arms out towards the side. Thumbs up, pinkies down. Spread your fingers to really brighten through your hands. Twist towards the left side. Return yourself back into center. Twist towards the right. Good. Inhale one more time each way. See if you can move with the breath on your own. The next time you come to neutral, release your hands, frame your foot, step back to downward dog. And the option may be here to come onto your knees, take a moment in kneeling or in child's pose to sip water. Yeah, move through vinyasa if that's where your energy wants to take you. It's this opportunity and space, even within our movement practice, to still be reflective, to still be aware. If you're ready from child's pose or kneeling, come back to downward dog. Heel toe your feet out towards the outer edges of your mat so your pinky toes touch off. Sway your hips side to side from here. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Belly really relaxes between your thighs. Take hold of your opposite elbow. The weight of the torso helps to bow you, fold you in between the legs. Keep a micro bend or a deep bend through your knees. Hands slide up onto the shins. Lift your heart up, flatten your back. Preparing for our Malasana, Hindu squat. For now, try to keep your torso parallel to the earth as you bend your knees. And if you feel as if you can keep your heels rooted and sink through the hips, the pelvic bowl starts to drop through the window of your legs as your chest comes up, elbows compress to knees. Holding for a few rounds here. Try to keep the knees maybe stacked over the toes or behind them. Try to lift your chest and heart up for 3. Smooth your breath out. Support the body when you're in this challenging position. 2. Of course, if there's anything going on in your knees, just lift yourself out of this position. Last round. Get a little bounce through the legs and then shoot yourself all the way up to standing. Release your hands by your sides. And then heel toe your feet back under your hips. A little bit closer together, shake your legs off. Good. Arms sweep high, reach up, gaze up. Hinge forward, big bow. Flatten your back and lift your heart. Bend your knees, walk yourself out into your plank position. So your expression, not mine. Lots of permission to take the knees down, look past your fingers, come onto your belly. Pointed toes, loop the shoulders, down, away from your ears, lift your heart halfway or all the way. Then allow for an extra breath in your back bend. Try and slingshot your heart forward, arm bones draw back. And let's meet in tabletop. You might need to shimmy the hands back or knees forward so things are stacking. Inhale, take your right leg back behind you. And this time, we'll let the right toes touch down and open through the hips. So left leg swings back with a kickstand. Right foot anchors. Right arm reaches up. We're in modified side plank. Take the right arm, reach it over your head. Get really long through a C shape in your spine. Bring the right arm back towards the sky. Maybe look down towards your left hand. Tent up your left fingers. Engage your core to lift yourself upright. Maybe a cushion under your left knee. You're really anchoring through the right outer edge of your foot. Arms sweep out. Take the right hand onto your right thigh or shin. Left arm sweeps up and over. And can we flow between those two positions? Left hand to the earth, maybe to your stack of books or to a block. Right hand to the sky. Coming back up. So engage the side obliques to lift your torso. Left arm reaches over to the right. One more time. Make it a big fluid movement. Left hand releases to the earth. Right hand comes to follow. Find your tabletop. Flow through 3 cat-cows. Drop your belly, lift your heart. Rounding through chin to chest. Heavy head. Go on your own pace. Inhale, come forward and up. Exhale, round. Last set. Flat back. Need to support the wrists a bit more. Lift them up, roll them out, and then place them back down. Left toes reach back behind you. Start with the leg engaged. Then land your left toes to the back of your mat. Plant your left heel. Right foot kickstands behind you. Left hand sweeps high. Side plank the opposite direction. Left arm moves overhead. And then we'll need to contract through the left side, like doing a crunch. Tense your right fingers, lift your torso up. Beautiful. Anchor firmly to your left foot. Left hand to thigh or shin. Right arm sweeps over. Back up through to center. Flow between each side. Tense the right fingers, touch them down, catch yourself. Come back up with control as you sweep over towards the left. Beautiful. Move with your breath. Find your own rhythm. And while, again, we're all moving at our own rhythm, there's something collective about doing it together. And the next time your right hand touches the earth, let the left hand follow. Meet in tabletop. Bring your big toes together, let your knees go wide. Sit back into child's pose. Rest your forehead on something. Close your eyes and simply notice at this point in your practice where you've arrived in your emotional body and your physical body. Have you got caught up
telling any stories or inner dialogues about your day, about your practice, your movement. Step out of that space. Remind yourself that the breath you're taking is your own, but everyone else is trying to catch their own breath right now as well. We're all trying to catch our breath. Come forward to table. Flip your toes. Downward dog, knees lift back. Really root through the L shape through index finger and thumb. Press through your whole palm. Send your hips back a little bit further. If you'd like here to take one last vinyasa, feel free to flow through plank or modified plank, high to low push-up, your back bend expression. Downward dog. To step, walk, or hop forward and come straight down onto the bum. Grounded feet. Lift your chest up. Hold on to your shins. Hold on to your knees. Bring lots of length and space into your spine. Roll yourself down. Come on to the back. Once you arrive on the back, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Massage the back, rock side to side. Plant your feet down. Try to keep your feet in towards the hips, but not so much that you're putting strain on the knees. The heels can always walk out a little further away from the body. But feel again, even weight through the big toe mound, down through the center of your heel. Then even press the backs of your arm bones into the earth. So your triceps press down. Feel the broadening that creates through the chest and your collarbones. Inhale, lift your hips up. And imagine you had a block between your thighs. You gently hug it in. Give it a light squeeze. Try to envision creating more space in the hip flexors and the lower abdomen as you send your hips high. Light engagement through your bum. Deep breath. Lift your heels. Massage the spine as you slowly roll down. Plant your heels. Let your pelvic bowl tip forward. Create a little bit of that curve through the lower lumbar spine. Ground through feet. Press through arms. Lift your hips up. Head and neck stay neutral. Even pressing into all 10 toes. Send the hips 1 inch higher. Lift your heels, massage, roll. Release everything down. Then when you plant the heels, let the pelvic bowl rock forward. The lower back creates that lift, that arch. And then soften the engagement, let it go. Finding whatever prop you have available to you in your home. So your bolster, stack of books, block, pillow, even a pillow folded in half, like a pillow from your bed is really good. Feet planted. We'll set up for bridge pose again, except this time using our prop underneath us to support us. Lift your hips high. Slide your prop right underneath you so the heaviest part of the pelvis is supported on your prop.
Your knees might tent in towards one another. There are a few options here for your legs. You're stretching both of them out in front of you if you'd like more of a front body opening, but if that doesn't feel good on your lower back, you can either do it one leg stretched out at a time, or simply bend the knees again. Rest your hands along your torso or stretch them out. What serves you better? So the little gentle things that we can do for ourselves
that support the body emotionally, physically. Also these little things that really serve us, but don't take away from anyone else. We'll be here for 1 or 2 minutes. Close your eyes, get heavy, settle in.
Keep catching the mind as it wanders. Notice where it goes. Come back to breath. Maybe 10 more cycles. I'm noticing that gentle awareness, perhaps bringing to light where we spend a lot of our inner dialogue. What consumes a lot of our thoughts? Is it the me or I conversation? Remind yourself of the universal breath that we're all trying to take right now. Deepen your next few breaths, preparing the body to move. Begin to ground into your feet.
Lift your hips up. Slide your prop out from underneath you. Roll your spine down and then windshield wipe your legs from side to side. At this point in your practice, if you need any other movement before we settle into final resting pose, Shavasana, if you need something to stay warm, in your own time, lie on the back, extend your arms and legs. Soft space behind your eyes. Give yourself permission to simply be. So exactly as you are, as you've landed the emotional and physical body today. See if you can become deeply relaxed, knowing that my voice will shortly guide you back. Lengthen your breath. And if the body is calling you just to stay exactly where you are today, feel free. Don't move. Stay in deep rest. If you're ready to awaken, bring in movement through fingers and toes. And flutter your eyes. Gradually bend your knees. Make your way into seated. We'll meet there together. Your pillow or cushion can come under your hips. To rock the pelvis forward, that pelvic tilts to lengthen your spine up. And we meet here. Take hands to heart center. Press your palms actively together. Feel the sensation of your own touch. Palm to palm, fingertip to fingertip. Bowing chin in towards chest, acknowledging one another, this practice in collective space. Recognizing the best and highest within us all. Namaste. Thank you so much for a wonderful practice today. I look forward to seeing all of you again tomorrow.